Hi there, I'm Carol, wife, mother of two, plant-based RN, and the founder of Lift to Rise, a program where my goal is to empower others to take charge of their health and unleash the healthy, vibrant, happy person that's inside of each and every one of us. Today I wanted to show you my broccoli casserole. This is one of my favorite dishes. It's super low in calorie density, so you can eat a ton of it and feel satisfied. It's very rich and cheesy and reminds me of a dish I used to have as a kid. My mom would make a broccoli casserole, broccoli and cheese casserole, but it was loaded with fat and dairy and oil and calories, and this is a much lighter version, and you can really eat a lot of it and be full and satisfied because it's packed with protein, fiber, and micronutrients. So let's get started. I am chopping broccoli, enough to fill this giant casserole dish. So I buy these 3-pound bags of broccoli at Costco. I already washed it, and I'm just chopping it up into small pieces and putting it in the casserole dish. And this is going to be a mountain of food, but I eat about a quarter of this pan at a meal at a time. And I also have it with extra veggies on the side. And it's very filling and satisfying. I'm gonna bring it for my lunch the next couple days. So I look forward to eating this at my lunchtime. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about calorie density. Have you guys ever heard of calorie density? When I first heard about this concept, it kind of blew my mind because it's something that we all know. We all know that vegetables are low in calories, and things like bread are higher in calories. But when I heard it explained this way, it kind of really made sense to me. So if you think about diets, why do diets fail? They say that 95% of people that go on a diet gain all of their weight back and then more. So that's not very good statistics. So basically, it's been proven time and time again that diets don't work. I don't care if it's keto, paleo, Atkins, you name it. South Beach, diets just don't work. They're not sustainable. And why is that? Because when you go on a diet, they're usually about restricting your portions, restricting your calories, restricting your intake. And you can do that for a while. You can do it to lose 10 pounds for your vacation, but it's not sustainable. Eventually, you're gonna go back to go back to filling yourself up like you should be, and you're gonna put the weight back on because you're not eating the right foods. So, have you guys seen the calorie density chart? I will link it below, but it basically says that the lowest calorie dense foods are vegetables, and the calorie density scale goes by calories per pound. So a pound of vegetables is about 100 calories, sometimes less. And so you can really eat as much as you want of vegetables, and you cannot go over your calorie limit. You're gonna lose weight if you eat only vegetables and fill yourself up 3 times a day. You're going to lose weight for sure, but you're not going to be very satisfied. Vegetables, and a couple hours later, you're going to be hungry. Fruit is next at 300 calories a pound, and then comes complex carbohydrates like rice, quinoa, other grains, sweet potatoes. Potatoes actually are only 300 calories a pound. And 400 calories a pound. Potatoes and corn are 2 complex carbohydrates that are only 400 calories a pound. Potatoes have been proven to be the most satiating food that you can eat. So in studies that have shown that people that just eat plain steamed potatoes, it keeps them more satisfied and fuller longer than any other food on the planet. So that is really good news. I'm going to tell you what I'm putting in my recipe next. It's Idaho Spuds. I don't know, my husband bought a case of this at Costco. It's just 100% potatoes shredded in a little thing. They're dehydrated. You just pour in hot water to the top, and it kind of swells up and expands. There's 7 servings in here at 60 calories each. So that is 420 calories for the whole container. And you'll see when I open it up, it's a ton of potatoes. So I don't usually buy stuff like this, but it's so convenient. It's just potatoes, no oil. You can also use a frozen box of hash browns. This is going to be a lot of food. You can also use a frozen bag of hash browns that don't contain oil. If you can find frozen potatoes that is just potatoes, go ahead and use that. I haven't been able to find something like that, but I do live on an island, so that's not unheard of. I have a cup of water here, and it's gonna need something. It's gonna steam in the oven. I'm gonna cover it and bake it, and it's gonna need something to steam all that broccoli. So I have a cup of water here. I'm adding a tablespoon of garlic. I love garlic. And I also have some tablespoon of onion powder, tablespoon of garlic powder, and half a teaspoon of dry mustard, putting in there. Get all that out. This just boosts up the flavor, makes it super tasty. And then I have a tablespoon of my favorite, Better Than Bouillon. This is the veggie soup base that I love to use. It makes everything taste super rich and flavorful. And of course it doesn't contain any meat. And it's pretty low in sodium too. So I love adding this to soups, gravies, and things like this that need something to steam in. So if you stick to a low-calorie, dense meal, like vegetables, beans, grains, potatoes, things like that, you are going to lose weight and you're going to be full and satisfied. That's the whole point of this calorie density. The only mammals that have an obesity problem in the entire animal kingdom are humans and domesticated animals, domesticated dogs and cats. Why do you think domesticated dogs and cats are obese? Is it because the humans are in charge of feeding them, right? So what is it? Why do we keep stuffing ourselves? I don't know. But a lot of us have addiction problems, addiction to food, addiction to fat and sugar and chocolate, candy, things like that, potato chips. A lot of us have addictions to these unhealthy foods. And if you read the book, The Pleasure Trap, it totally explains why. These give you a huge dopamine hit and they can be highly addictive. And it's not something that you can just give up because we have to eat, at least 3 times a day we're eating. And so you can't just give up food. So you're always surrounded by your addictions, especially in modern life. You can't even leave the house without being offered some junk food, But it's very rare that someone's gonna offer you some carrot sticks. So I have this mixed up now. I'm gonna pour it on top of my giant casserole. Make sure I get all the garlic all spread out. Okay, that's good. And then I'm just gonna lightly mix it just to get those potatoes kind of sunken down into everything else. Can you see this? It's just ginormous. Yeah, and when it bakes down, you're gonna see how beautiful it is. And then I put my plant-based cheese sauce. When it's done cooking, it cooks down. I'm gonna put my plant-based cheese sauce all over the top, and then I'm gonna put it under the broiler. It's gonna get nice and bubbly and delicious. The whole family loves something like this. And if your family doesn't like to eat veggies, salads are great. I eat a salad almost every day, but it's not for everyone, especially if you're just transitioning to this kind of diet. It might be hard for you to choke down a salad every day. I totally get it. So something like this though is a great way to get your fiber, your micronutrients in, and it tastes amazing and delicious. It tastes like something rich and, something that's naughty, but it's not. Okay, look at that bad boy. So I'm gonna cover this, put it in the oven. It weighs like 10 pounds on 375 and cook it until the broccoli is tender. The potatoes are already steamed, so it doesn't really need to cook that long. Just got a little bit of liquid in the bottom. That's gonna steam and it's gonna evaporate off and make like a big dense casserole. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, the casserole is out of the oven. It cooks for about 40 minutes. You can see it's nice and toasty, that it's cooked down a bit. The broccoli is nice and tender. I ended up adding a little bit more vegetable stock to it because I like the broccoli to be nice and tender. And so I have my plant-based cheese sauce. I'll link the recipe below. I'm going to just pour this over the top. This makes it just over the top delicious. So you can see this casserole is ginormous, and the whole thing altogether has only about 800 calories. Isn't that crazy? So you can bring this to a potluck serve this to your family. You can eat it day after day, and it's savory and delicious. The whole family's gonna love it. So I'm gonna pop this under the broiler for a minute, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's finally done. Okay, casserole's out of the oven, and this place smells amazing. I wanted to show you a little bit about how I meal prep for, I work 12-hour shifts as an RN in the emergency room, and so I need to bring my food with me because there's nothing healthy to eat at the hospital. So I like to have a big lunch because I only get a 30-minute break in those 12 hours, and then I will have a small dinner when I get home around 8 p.m. And I like to bring a big lunch, and I like to have it as calorie dilute as possible. I like to stay full for hours, but not have a big calorie bomb. So I have 2 containers here, and I want to show you how I prep my lunches. I buy this organic spring mix, or whatever kind of leafy greens I can find. I always have 2 handfuls of leafy greens with every meal, and it's just really good for your blood pressure, your blood sugar. So 2 big handfuls of leafy greens. And I love the spring mix. It has a good combination of, it's already washed, it's non-GMO, it's organic. You don't have to worry about it. I shredded up some zucchini. I love shredded zucchini on a salad. Zucchini is one of the lowest calorie vegetables there is out there. It's like 25 calories a pound. So it really adds like a juiciness to your salad. I just love it. So shredded zucchini, shredded carrots. I love shredded carrots too. I feel like they really keep me full and satisfied longer on a salad. It's kind of like, it really bulks up your salad. I have some cherry tomatoes that I just cut in half. Put those guys on here. Try to keep it all to one side-ish so I can put the casserole on the other. I'm just gonna put all this in there. I do practice intermittent fasting kind of naturally because I'm not hungry in the morning, so I usually don't eat breakfast, but I drink a lot of water in the morning and maybe a cup of tea, and then I eat around 11 or 12 at work. And that just kind of works out naturally for me. I'm not really hungry when I wake up in the morning, probably because I eat so late at night, which is not the greatest, but you have to do what you have to do, right? So I have these 2 big, huge salads on one side. I want to show you, oh, I forgot, sauerkraut. Do you like sauerkraut on your salad? I love it. It gives it like a tangy zippiness to it, and it's full of probiotics. This kind of is like, you don't even really need a salad dressing with this kind of salad, in my opinion. But I did make some Caesar dressing. I'll post the link to that video below. It's one of my favorite dressings. I'm going to bring that alongside. Here is the finished casserole. Look how delicious that looks. It's all toasty and brown on top, full of cheese sauce, and this thing is substantial. It weighs a lot. I want to show you how I prep for work. So I'm not going to eat, I could eat a quarter of this pan easily, but with this big salad, I'm only going to use like a big scoop here. See if I can get this out. This could be tough. I'm going to pop it right in half of this here. So like I was saying, this entire casserole, this 5-pound tray of food here, is only 800 calories. You could literally eat the whole thing. And you'll be full and satisfied. You will not be craving snacks after that, I guarantee you. But I'm gonna pop this right in my containers here. Extra broccoli. Broccoli is a cruciferous vegetable. That 3-pound bag of broccoli is only 350 calories. Isn't that crazy? So you can really eat as much broccoli. I eat broccoli almost every day. It's one of my favorite vegetables. I find it really filling and satisfying, and it's super good at fighting cancer. It's anti-cancer properties, like all cruciferous vegetables have. So it's good to have some either broccoli, cauliflower, kale, and some kind of cruciferous vegetable every day. There. Doesn't that look good? So these are my lunches for the next 2 days. Big, hearty portions. And that is going to keep me full and satisfied so that I can perform at work. And I just can't let you go without having a taste of this delicious casserole. I am serving it with this big salad. I always make half of my plate veggies, even if I'm eating this meal, which is half veggies too. It just further dilutes the calories. If weight loss is your goal, these tips are really going to help you to lose those last few pounds you need to lose. Just focusing on vegetables, green leafy vegetables, broccoli, zucchini, anything like that is going to really help you to lose the weight and not feel deprived. We don't want to be feeling hungry. That's not sustainable. So I hope you learned something today about calorie density and how you can eat more. You just have to make sure you're eating the right foods. I never cook with oil. Oil is 4,000 calories a pound, and it has no nutrients whatsoever, and it's just going to end up in your bloodstream as fat. You don't need to have oil. It's super easy. As you saw, I didn't put any oil in any of these dishes. And let's give it a taste. It's really hot. Broccoli is nicely tender and cooked. So much flavor from all the garlic and the veggie stock I put in there earlier, and the cheese sauce on top just makes it amazing. So a plate like this, you can have 2 or 3 of these plates and it will be still less than 500 calories. So I'm going to bring these to work for the next couple days, and I'm bringing my Caesar dressing with me to put on top of the salad. It's going to keep me full and satisfied and running for my 12.5-hour shift. So I hope you guys try this casserole. I think it's going to be a hit with your whole family, and let me know what you think of it. I hope you guys have a great day.